our first ever Protector Award for an offensive lineman. I hope it is a very good night. I hope it's better than what the Pro Bowl was. But if you guys will allow me, I was thinking last night, like I do a lot when it comes to football, there are some troubling things that we talk about when it comes to the salary cap, but we really don't get into it. And that's mainly my fault because, our conversations are always diverted into this team, that team, this direction, that direction, right? And I understand it. But I was thinking last night about the salary cap, and not only the salary cap per se, but what is happening with the NFL and their salary caps? What is happening with how these players are getting paid and what it does to teams? We all know that the quarterback cap is going higher and higher and higher. We all know that, right? We just saw Josh Allen get a 6-year, $330, $250 million deal. We also know that there are multiple teams that are over the salary cap before the year even starts. We're looking at the Dallas Cowboys, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New Orleans Saints, and more. So I was thinking about this while I was, trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about today. And I got to thinking, we know that these players are getting paid higher and higher, but then I wanted to think back to Tom Brady. And I always remember that Tom Brady always did his contract where the first couple of years of his deal, he barely made any money from the team, right? He made good money, but it wasn't, what these players are getting paid now. He always pushed his money to the end because he knew about the brand deals and stuff like that. But he cared about his team more. He cared about having room on the salary to bring in players or keep players. But now when you look at these caps, every single year going into the league year, we are going to know teams are going to have to go to their players and go, hey, we're going to restructure you this year. We're going to give you this check for this amount of money to lower your cap hit. And I was thinking about this and I was wondering, why has this happened? Why has NFL players stepped away from caring about their team, winning Super Bowls, and more about what they can make? Now, if you look at Josh Allen's deal, yes, it's 55 average, but that's only on average. That's not what his cap hit's going to be, right? So when you look at it, Josh Allen's cap hit is 36. So he has kind of moved his money around to help out his roster. But when we look at other teams like Dak Prescott and Dallas Cowboys, when we look at Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, every single year, they have to restructure their deals to make sure that the team is under the cap, that they have money for free agency or franchise tags and things like that. Going into next year, the Buffalo Bills only have $1.6 million in cap space. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. That's this year. I need to pull up next year's. Let's see what it is next year. The Buffalo Bills have $9.8 million over the cap going in next year, and Josh Allen has a $56.3 million cap hit. We know that team needs wide receiver help and defensive backfield help. Guys, I'm sorry if it's lagging. I guess TikTok is having problems. But I was thinking about this, and I was wondering, when did the focus turn of these owners always going like, we're going to give these guys whatever they want, no matter how much we're going to have to adjust the cap next year, instead of trying to talk to these players like, hey, we're going to give you the money. And, I'll give you more guarantee if we push your big cap hits per year towards the end, right? So the player is still protected, right? Before we go, well, what about injuries? What about this and that? I understand. But if you give a player more guaranteed money, it doesn't necessarily affect your cap. And it still gives that player protection. But as we've gone through, I'm going to say probably over the last 5 years or so, it has changed from where players don't care anymore. And when we look at every single year and every single cap, it's getting worse and worse, right? It's getting bad. It really is. And I don't understand why teams continue to do this. I don't know what the I'm trying to find where I got a list of all the teams. Here we go, cap tracker. Here we go. All right, so when we look at next year, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams that are already over the cap going into next year. Starting with the Green Bay Packers, Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns, Miami Dolphins, Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, New Orleans Saints, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are all the teams going into 2026 that are over the cap.
That's almost half the league.
Yeah, 12 teams. That's what? A third. That's a third of the teams. That is a third of the teams that are already over the cap going into next year. The Chiefs are, they have the most at 57 million over the cap. The Saints have 41. The Vikings have 40. And that's 40 million over the cap with a rookie quarterback. You know, we all hear about, well, when you have a rookie quarterback and a rookie quarterback contract, it really helps you out. What's not happening up the Minnesota Vikings? How's it going, Haley? I hope you're having a great day. You got the Cleveland Browns. We know that the majority of that is with Deshaun Watson because of how they did his contract. The Jacksonville Jaguars are only at 9. The Bills are at 9. The Bears with a rookie quarterback, they're 10 million over. The Dolphins are at 23. It could go more if they cut Tua, because he has a $99 million dead cap hit. So when did these teams figure out that going over the cap no longer means anything? Exactly, Chop Boy. You're 100% correct. The cap is fake. You can manipulate it. But put yourself as an owner. All right? You're the owner of one of these franchises. In order to manipulate it, you as the owner, let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You as an owner have to be willing to pay a minimum of $60 million out of your own pocket this year to get your team over the or back under the cap. You as an owner. Right? So that money is coming out of your bank account, not the salary cap, not what the team has. No, that is coming out of your personal money. So you as the owner, if you are the Lamar Hunt family, you know here in the next month, you are going to have to write checks totaling up to or over $60 million. In order to get your team back under that cap. Yep, the Saints have done it for years, 100%. But why is that okay as an owner? I mean, I wouldn't want to do that if I was the owner of a team. I'm just reporting what everybody is saying. Tag, that's what they're saying about Max Crosby. I just report what I read. No, I don't think the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Now the Patriots will be making Super Bowl history, but I want to stay on this real quick about the cap. Every single year this happens. So this is where you get the argument. Should we keep the salary cap or should we get rid of the salary cap? Because if you're allowed to illegally manipulate it, then what's the point of even having it?
Right.
Well, isn't the point that it keeps within a standard deviation of the mean most teams honest?
Right, so you're keeping most, but not all.
So what I'm saying is, yeah, but that's 2 standard deviations from the mean, right? So I mean, if we have 98% compliance, I'm okay with that, rather than the Wild West where no one has any semblance of fiscal responsibility.
So you're saying you don't want any NFL like baseball, so to say.
Correct.
Okay, I can understand that. So, all right, instead of us getting rid of the cap, should there be more restraints or more things put in place where you can't continue to do this with the same player over and over or multiple players, because should it be like, well, you can only manipulate this many number of players' contracts to keep you under the cap?
Here's what's interesting is that it doesn't matter, right? So if you take the teams that are the most egregious violators of the cap idea, are they in the Super Bowl this year? Were they in the Super Bowl last year?
Yes.
What is the correlation? Okay, so what, Philly was that team?
The Chiefs were in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they lost 30 to...
Yeah, they lost bad, right? We know, but they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they got by Buffalo with another...
No, hold on, Ronnie.
I think determination is health.
Ronnie, when you restructure a contract, it's year-by-year base. Mm-hmm. So I've got to, if I'm with the Lamar Hunt family, I have to restructure Patrick Mahomes' contract for this year. And if I don't give him an extension, right, if I don't sign him to a new contract, then come next year, I'm going to have to do the same thing again. So if I don't take a player like Patrick Mahomes and go, look, we're going to have to spread your money out over more years, right? His contract ends in 2031. If I don't go, hey, Mahomes, we need to do something about your contract, lower these cap hits, because this year and next year are really bad for Patrick Mahomes. After that, you get a little bit of breather room, not much, but some. It's kind of like, this is the best way to explain it. It's what's happening with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has a $74.5 million cap hit this year coming up and a $74.5 million cap hit in 2027. So what they're wanting to do, instead of going, hey, we're going to give you a $50 million check to lower your cap hit down to $24.5 million, we want to extend you, right? We want to give you a brand new contract that takes that remaining $140 million, adds more money and more guaranteed on it, but spreads it out over a 6-year period instead of a 2-year period. But if they don't get it done and he doesn't get traded, then this year coming up and next year coming up, we're going to be in the same scenario with the Baltimore Ravens of, well, we're going to have to write him a $50 million check. Because right now the Ravens only have $22.6 million on the cap. And they have 48 players on their roster. So you have to have money for free agency if you want. You have to have money for everybody in the draft that you're going to pick. And you have to have money because going into mini camp, you have to have a minimum of 90 people on your roster. So you have to have money to have 90 people or 90 players on your roster before all the cuts happen going into the regular season. So if you look at it that way, so if you cut a player before his contract is up, does that become dead? If you cut a player, what his dead cap money is becomes fully guaranteed and you can separate it over 2 years, right? So, all right, let's look at the Miami Dolphins right now with Tua Tagovailoa. If they're not able to trade him in his contract and they cut him outright with a June 1st designation, he will have a $99 million dead cap hit that you can spread out over 2 years. Now, here's the deal when it comes to dead cap money. I cannot manipulate that as an owner. That is 100% guaranteed off of my contract or off of my cap. I can't go to Tua then and go, hey, I'm going to give you, 50 million here to lower that dead cap. No, I can't do that. Dead cap money cannot be manipulated.
But shouldn't the Miami Dolphins be held accountable for that bad deal?
Well, every team that cuts a player with, well, it's like what the Denver Broncos did with Russell Wilson when we ate the $83 million dead cap hit.
Right. Well, what I'm saying though is, shouldn't that be like an impetus or a discouragement to give a guy that much money who's mid?
Well, that there's the problem we have as well, right? We are a quarterback deprived league, and I do blame college with the NIL deals, the transfer portals. Quarterbacks aren't getting true. I don't want to say a true preparation for the draft or for the NFL anymore because they're hopping from team to team, going from this. 1 year they're in this kind of offensive scheme, the next year in that offensive scheme. So they're not learning a true scheme set. And so they're bouncing from team to team following that money. And so when they come into the draft, again, you're going into another scheme set. Now, one you might have played 4 years ago in, but you have 3 other years where you were in 3 other different kind of offensive sets. Scheme set, so now you have to retrain your brain.
Yeah, here's where I disagree with you. I think Indiana might be one of the only team that's running a pro set. Like Alabama doesn't run a pro.
Oh, I'll agree with you 100% on that.
Offense. Neither does LSU.
Right, but when you look at Indiana, if you're going to say Mendoza, he's still not pro ready. He was only in that. Kind of system 1 year.
I disagree. I think you get a sense. I mean, you're right, though. I think it's very unpredictable. But, I mean, had we known, you guys would have had Josh Allen.
Right, but we don't know if Josh Allen would have stayed. Yeah.
Running.
We don't know if Allen would have been the Allen that he is if he would have went to Denver. Word on the street is Jalen wanted to Denver in a trade. I keep hearing that as well because that's another deal. So, all right, let's go back to the Dolphins real quick. If the Dolphins do cut Tua, they are going to have to trade players away like Waddle, like Chubb, in order to get their cap numbers off of their salary cap because they're going to go from 23 million over the cap to, so 99 divided by 2 is 19 or 49 and a half. What's that?
If we were to trade for Jalen Waddle, where would he fit in the wide receiver room?
He would be a 2.
So where would Mims and Troy Franklin go?
Troy Franklin, you're going to keep Franklin and Bryan as your slot.
And Mims?
Mims isn't a starting wide receiver. I get it. He's done great, and I applaud him for it. But I've been trying to tell every Bronco fan out there, Mims is not the wide receiver Sean Payton wants. That's why he's not a starting wide receiver. That's why he comes in for jet sweeps. That's why he comes in when only players are hurt, or he comes in a few plays here or there. He is Sean Payton's return specialist. Kind of like what, remember Darren Sproles with New Orleans, his return specialist? I'm not saying he shouldn't be. I'm just saying that's what Sean Payton has him as. His punt returner and his kick returner, and on these gadget plays with jet sweeps and stuff like that. Or when a player's hurt. So, what's up, my opinion? What's a crack-a-lackin'?
What's up, guys? I'm 46 today. Can't believe it.
So that's it, right? He's been the best receiver we've had outside of Sutton. I know. Try telling Sean Payton that. This is where Sean Payton. Oh, Sproles on the Chargers. Thank you. Who was I thinking of? It wasn't Hez. Who was that in New Orleans? That was a really good returner. I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Well, was he also there? Okay.
While you're trying to remember, what do you think of Harrison Jr.? Does he end up in Denver, Buffalo, Pats?
Why would Arizona get rid of him?
Well, 2 number ones will probably do it.
You're not going to
They
get 2
don't
number
have a
ones for
quarterback,
Harrison.
And he's going to be a very expensive free agent. So maybe I take the picks. and
Well,
try
but
to build down
he's
the road.
not a free agent though. He's still under his
3
rookie
years he will
deal.
be.
He's going into his 3rd year. You still got
2 years.
Well, no, you got this year, next year, and his 5th year option
Ah.
because he was a
Well,
first round draft pick.
I'm just saying, like, maybe the draft picks will be more. I think him, Olave, those guys will go for 2 ones.
Trading 2 ones for a receiver, I don't see it. I don't even think you're going to get a single first rounder for him. I think you might get a second rounder. So let's follow this logic. You're going to trade for Marvin Harrison Jr. This is probably what they're going to offer. A second this year and a 3rd next year.
Pats will offer 2 number ones for Harrison Jr.
They're not going to do it. No team is going to offer 2 number ones for a wide receiver that's only been in the NFL 2 years. It's not going to happen.
That's what Diggs went for.
It's not going to happen.
All right.
I don't see it. I mean, and did Stephon Diggs really do anything spectacular after losing 2 number ones?
Yes.
What did he do? Does he have a Super Bowl ring?
He went to the playoffs every year.
Okay. Does he have a Super Bowl ring? Does that team that he went to have a Super Bowl ring with him?
You are going to say success is dependent on an 8% chance of getting in the Super Bowl?
No, what I'm saying is you're giving up 2 first-round draft picks.
Receiver.
You're giving up. We don't know if Marvin Harrison Jr. is a top 10 receiver. And right now, according to the stats, he's not.
With Drake May or Josh Allen, he is. With both
We don't know that, though. We're speculating.
You didn't know that Micah Parsons was going to go down. You take a chance on talent.
He can't catch the fucking football, and that's on him, not his quarterback. He sucks. He is ass.
I love Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. Was it the scheme? Was it Kyler Murray? We don't know. I know what he did at Ohio. He was one of the best prospects coming out of Ohio. What's up, Princess Starlight? But for the first 2 years that Marvin Harrison Jr. has played, number one, he's dealt with a lot of injuries.
Would he be the number 1 in Denver?
No, he wouldn't. Unfortunately, if I'm thinking of it, if I'm thinking as Sean Payton, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Payton would use him, sad to say, and this is just my personal opinion when it comes to Sean Payton and his playing style, he would use him in a Marvin Mims role.
Yeah, he'd be the number 1
What's up, Oak Ridge?
In KC. He'd be the number 1 in Buffalo. He'd be the number 1 in New England. He'd be the number 1 at the Chargers.
Well, yeah, because they don't have wide receivers.
Okay,
That's
let's
my
go off
point.
that logic. Let's go off that logic, right? He was the number 1 in Arizona. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't. Michael Wilson was. And Michael Wilson's not even talked about. He's trash.
Again, we could look at it at when we talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I remember watching him at Ohio State. We could say it was the coaching, right? He had more of a defensive-minded head coach. We could say it was because of Kyler Murray, our one-hit wonder, right? He was a one check-down merchant. We don't know. We don't know. But as we sit right now, with the productivity that Marvin Harrison has done in the NFL, not in college, NFL, because he's been out of college 2 years going into year 3. He is not worth 2 first-round draft picks to any team. He's not. He's worth maybe a second and a third, but not 2 consecutive first-round draft picks. You are going to get, if you are seriously thinking about bringing him into Buffalo, which I think would be a great move for the Bills. I really do. I'm not going to disagree with that logic either. But I'm not giving up 2 consecutive number ones. I would offer a second rounder this year and a third rounder next year that could turn into a second round under certain criteria. But I'm not giving up 2 consecutive number ones. I'm not. A lot of people think that you could just toss around number ones. You can't. You can't toss around number ones without looking at their value. Every draft pick has a value number tied to it. Every single one.
Here's what's really interesting. Go into Wikipedia, start looking at the drafts, and see how many guys made Pro Bowls in the first round, how many guys are Hall of Famers in the first round. It's not a lot. It's a complete crapshoot.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You didn't know that Wikipedia is made by fans and it's not actual factual information for the most part?
So you're telling me that the guy that they show him go number one did not go number one. That's what you're saying?
I can go on the page and put my name as number one if I wanted to.
Okay.
He's not lying. And this isn't supposed to be combative. I'm coming at you with a general manager's mind. Okay? A general manager of any team is not giving up 2 first-round draft picks. Okay, look at it this way. The number 1 overall pick in every NFL draft is worth 3,000 points. The drafts have every draft pick from 1 all the way down to Mr. Irrelevant have a point system tied to it. Every single one does. And the number 1 overall is worth 3,000 points. Now, I'm not saying you're giving up 2 consecutive number 1 overalls. I'm just saying every single draft pick has a value tied to it. So when you look at your team, you got to look at where you're picking in the draft, right? You got to see that value of this year's draft. So we're going to throw a number out there just for fun because I don't have the chart up. But we're going to say the Buffalo Bills pick this year is worth 1,500 points. Okay? So I'm looking at it like that. All right, that pick is worth 1,500 points to me. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. was picked in the first round. So I had to find out what pick he was picked at. Was it 3? Was it 4? Was it 5? Whatever it was. And then I have to look at what his value was on that pick. Then I have to deduct from that pick how many years, injuries, and everything that Marvin Harrison has had in his 2 years and deduct it from that point total. Why do you think deals like what happened with what was his name? Robert Griffin III don't happen anymore? Because of the point totals and what you get in return. What the Redskins gave up in draft pick point totals and what they got in return was nowhere near anything in equal value, not even close. So that turned teams away from doing stuff like that. And then when you see what the Cleveland Browns did with Deshaun Watson, what the Broncos did with Russell Wilson, and all those picks, all those point totals, plus the players that were given up in those trades and their point value system, what they got compared to what they gave in return really turns teams off of making these kind of deals. So that's why you really don't see, we're going to give up 2 number ones, 3 number ones. It's like, okay, say the Jets this year trade from number 2 to number 1. Right? Say they want Mendoza and the Raiders are willing to do it. Well, the point total from number 1 to number 2, it's only 300 different points. That's it. It's a 300 different point total. Let me pull up my chart. I want to get this right. Let me pull up my draft chart.
While you're pulling it up, Charlotte gave up that much for Bryce Young. And that was just a couple years ago.
Steve,
And
you know Mark Harrison Jr. hasn't done a 1,000 yard year yet. Why would he go get a first round pick? The dude doesn't even have a 1,000 yard season.
all right, here we go. Okay, here we go. So your first overall draft pick is worth 3,000 points. Your number 2 overall is worth 2,600 points. Let me look at where the Bills are drafting, because I'm not going to disagree. He would work great with the Bills.
Bills are like 24.
All right, so 24.
24, 20, in that range.
Let's see here. Buffalo is 26.
There you go.
Their their first round draft pick is worth 700 points. 700 points.
So is your point that Buffalo would need to come up with two number ones to get the guy that went 4th overall 2 years ago?
No, because you got to take. All right, so he went 4th overall, which is 1,800 points, but he's been in the league 2 years. And so when you look at that total, right? When you look at that total of 1,800 points, and again, guys, I'm so sorry if the video is skipping. We're having problems with this. With TikTok ever since last Sunday. I do apologize, and I thank you for staying with me. So it's 1,800 points, but he's been in the league 2 years. He's also had multiple injuries through those 2 years. So that deducts from that point value drastically. Not marginally, but drastically. So if I'm the Bills, and all right, so I'm going to give up 700 draft points this year. Now, who's to say I'm going to have a worse year next year, right? Let's look at it that way. We've got a new coach who was our offensive coordinator. We still have a lot of holes to fill. So who does it say that my draft capital might not be higher, right? My first round pick might be number 10. Which is 1,300 points. So that just means I gave up 2,000 points. 2,000 points with draft capital, with two draft picks, on a player that was drafted number 4. So already my point total is more than what that draft pick was worth. On top of the 2 years, now 3 years, him being in the league, and the injuries he's had, and the problems he's had, I lose this trade. I lose this trade.
So they just look at the injuries and how many years they've been in the league, not what stats they've had, touchdowns, or anything like that. That doesn't add into it.
What's that, Bryce? I barely heard you, brother.
I was saying, so they don't look at the stats too for the points?
They can look at the stats, but first you're going to go years, injuries, then stats. Because the injuries are going to affect the stats. Because of games missed.
Is Neighbors worth more or less than Harrison Jr.?
1,000 times more.
He's coming off an ACL, right?
Right, so that does lower. It's kind of like Tyreek Hill, right? Everybody thinks that Tyreek Hill is going to get traded, and the Dolphins are going to get all this capital. I'm like, how? Look at his age, look at his injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is at Neighbors or Harrison. What I'm saying is,
I get that.
Interesting comparison. Do you take a guy who's had a major injury and had major production, or do you take a guy who has major potential and small injury? I don't know if there's a right answer.
I don't know if there is either.
One dude's been injured 2 years in a row, and out for multiple games for 2 years straight, and the other guy just got injured last year.
And Joey Bosa played every game this year. And he was always injured. So you don't know.
Yeah, but Joey Bosa was a free agent pick.
He was a free agent. He was 30, and he was a guy that was tagged with, this guy's always injured.
Right, but he was a free agent pick. I'm giving up no draft capital for a free agent.
That not the point. My point is related to this guy saying, well, Harrison's always injured. Well, so was Bosa. It's irrelevant in the sense that
I'm trying to explain
the
it.
guy getting, I'm taking Burrow every year.
I do like the
Even though
Broncos.
he's been injured.
I
That's
don't
the
know if I
second
could start. I don't know if I can follow. Number one, what is your team?
I would say I'm a Bills guy number one, Tampa guy number two.
Okay, I kind of figured you liked the Bills. I'm not giving up two number ones, two consecutive number ones for Marvin Harrison. And then on top of that, you got to look at this as well. You got to look at the draft class you're going in. Are we a heavy D? And I'm not saying this year. I'm just saying in general. When you make a trade like this, you got to look at the draft class that you're going in. Are we in a heavy wide receiver, heavy tight end, running back, quarterback, offensive line, defensive line, right? Which one has which draft cycle am I going into that has the more prospects that I don't have to give up any future capital for? Right? Who has, high graded wide receivers coming out in the draft? Is this a heavy wide receiver draft and stuff like that? So all of that plays into it when you're looking at teams making moves when it comes to trades. Hi, mamas. You can't just go in there and go, hey, I like this guy. I think he can do good. So I'm going to give up two number ones. That's how general managers get fired. That's how general managers get fired. You can't do that. You have to be now. Here's an even bigger thing. Does this player fit the system that my coach wants to run? Right? Does Marvin Harrison Jr. fit the system that my new head coach for the Bills want to run? Or is there a guy in the draft that fits it better? And I don't have to give up multiple picks. So there are so many things that go into it. Number two, is the team I'm wanting to trade for him even willing to entertain the trade? Or are they going to try to, send me a number back that goes, oh, you want this guy, huh? You offer two number ones. That tells me you really want him. No. I want two number ones and a number two. Let's see how bad you really want him.
Right. Well, and then you go one step further and look at the Dolphins with Waddle and the Jets with Walker saying, we're not trading you to the Bills. Go F yourself. They don't even care how bad the offer is. We're just not doing it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There are many things that go into this model. You can't just go, well, I like this guy. I like what he did at Ohio State 2 years ago. I think he could fit good in my team, so I'm going to give up two number ones. There is so much that goes into this. And then you also got to think about this, all right? So I'm getting a player on their third year, their rookie deal. Loan process, because now I can't claim the fifth-year option because I didn't draft him.
Correct.
So now I have a 2-year loan process before he wants to start making T. Higgins, Jamar Chase money. Because if he doesn't work out and I cut him, then that means I just lost two consecutive number ones. And I just lost my job as a general manager. There is so much that goes into this besides, wow, I really like that guy. I'll give you two number ones for him. I have to try to think years ahead of how this is going to work. I've got to sit with my coach. I got to sit with my offensive coordinator. I got to watch film. I got to see if he'll work in the system. I got to talk to my quarterback. Hey, what do you think about this guy? Is he the kind of receiver you think you can have a good connection with? We're thinking about giving up two number ones. What does the coach think about that? The coach is like, hell no, you're not. Those are my future. I'm a new coach. You ain't giving away my future. Is it a right deal? Is it a wrong deal? How is it going to look on my salary cap? Am I going to even have cap space to give him that kind of money when it comes up? Or if I'm going to have to let him go in free agency because I can't afford him? Is he going to demand Pickens money, Higgs money, Chase money? What is he going to demand? What is his agent going to want? All of this compiles into, do I trade for him or do I not trade for him? What is his availability going to be? We see that he has injuries. Will he be available for a 17-game season? The division we play in, we play in a kind of rough division. We play in an element that he hasn't played in, right? We play in Buffalo. It gets way colder in Buffalo than it does in Ohio. We're going to have to play in Foxborough possibly later in the year. It gets way colder up there as well. So there are so many things that has to go in this decision. Than just going, I like him. He did good a couple years ago at Ohio State. We'll give him 2 first-round draft picks. You can't do that. As a general manager, there is so much more that goes into it. Yes, draft point totals come into it, salary cap, players' health, player stats, availability, system style, route style. Do I want a slot guy, a go guy, a corner? Is he going to be able to do all 3? What kind of system does he run? What is he best for? What does everybody say about AJ Brown? Oh, he is a one-trick pony. He's a go runner, right? He's a go route runner. So what is Marvin Harrison? Is he just going to be a one-trick pony? Is he going to be a go guy? Is he going to be a slot guy? Is he going to be a crosser, a post? Is he going to fit in the system if I move him on the left to the right? And there's so much that goes into this. You have to be in the room with your head coach watching film 14, 16 hours a day, breaking down every nuance of this player because you as a general manager want this guy for 2 consecutive first-round draft picks. And you've got to see without a single shadow of doubt in your mind that by giving up 2 future picks, that it's going to work. And knowing that after those picks expire, you're now giving him a massive contract. Or you're letting him walk in free agency because he either didn't work out, the injuries became too much of a problem, the system didn't work out, or he wants way too much money and overprices you. And so now you lose a player and those picks. There is a multitude of things that have to go in a deal like this. Not just, man, he was really good at Ohio State. And I think he would work out on my team. So I'm going to give up 2 first-round draft picks.
How do you rate Parsons trade?
Micah Parsons, great for Dallas. Excellent for Dallas.
Well, it was excellent for Dallas, but I don't necessarily think Chicago comes back to beat the Packers down 3-21 if Parsons is playing.
Well, you got to remember also that they lost Jordan Love in that game. That was the game that they lost Jordan Love, and Malik Willis had to come off the bench and try to finish that game out. So there was more than just a Micah Parsons deal with that. But I'll agree. You could even say, look at the Denver game with him, with the Packers and the Broncos. If Parsons is in that game, do they win? We don't know. We honestly don't know. I can't say that is a certainty. Just like I can't say if Bo Nix was playing in the AFC Championship game, we win. I would like to think that they would have, but I can't guarantee it.
Patriots.
I can't guarantee it.
Patriots.
So I can't, without a shadow of a doubt, go, oh, if Parsons was playing, they win. Because even without Parsons, if it wasn't for a boneheaded onside kick fumble, the Packers win that game. The Packers win that game. So you got to look at it that way. There's a multitude of things that play into it. But when I look at the trade and everything, I think Dallas won the trade. I honestly do. I think Dallas won the trade. You now didn't have to give him all that money. You get, 2 first-round draft picks out of it?
Is he the best defensive player in the league?
No.
No.
Is he top 5?
Have you met Myles Garrett?
Is he top 5? I would go, you know what? Hold on. Before we,
just because of the age.
I would put him in top 10. I'd put him in top 10. I really
Who's a
would.
better edge guy than Parsons?
Nick Bonito is a better edge
I'm
rusher
not
than
taking-
Parsons.
Go Patriots.
No way I'm taking Benito over Parsons.
Let's go Patriots.
All right, explain to me why you wouldn't take Bonito
Michael,
over Parsons.
I just think Parsons is the most explosive player off the edge. He can cover pass. He's quicker off the ball than almost anybody I've seen in the past 5 years. That's why. And I think Benito's a great player, don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's the best edge guy in the league.
I wouldn't say he's good in pass pro. I know he's not good in run pro.
Who's got a better 40 time?
40 don't mean jack shit. 40 is a fake number because let me ask you this question.
Who had the knee?
Let me ask you this question. Are we playing football in tight shirts and shorts? Are we playing football in a tight shirt and tight shorts? Or are we playing football in pads, helmets, shoulder pads, and jerseys? Which one are we playing in? Why do 40 numbers look so great? Because the clothes they wear are aerodynamic. Put pads, a helmet, and leg pads and everything, your aerodynamics went right out the window. Went right out the
I'll
window.
just say this. I think Ada Hutchinson might be better, TJ Watt, but Parsons has a 31% win rate. 31%, meaning 1 out of every 3 times that he's lined up against someone, he beats them to the quarterback.
Does that equate for sacks or QB hits?
It equates to being one of the highest paid players in the league and being worth 2 number ones.
No, I was literally just asking, does it equate to sacks or hits?
Making those evaluations.
Because if we're talking about sacks or hits, well, Nick Bonito had more sacks than Michael Parsons did last year. Not this year, last year.
Talking about sacks, why hasn't even brought up Miles Garrett?
Well, he's talking about defensive ends, not defensive tackles. Because Miles Garrett is a defensive tackle. That's why I didn't say Zach Allen, because Zach Allen's not a defensive end. He's a defensive tackle. Because if you look at Zach Allen, he's got better numbers than Michael Parsons. But again, he's a tackle, not an end. So I didn't want to muddy the waters by putting tackles in with ends and ends in with tackles. Because they're 2 totally different positions.
And Parsons is listed as a linebacker, right? He plays edge.
All right, so
Like Epinesa or Benito. I think Benito is.
Benito's he's a hybrid, kind of like what JJ Watt is. Or not JJ, but JJ Watt. No, TJ Watt with the Steelers. They're hybrids. Because technically he's a linebacker, but he always plays edge. It's the same thing with Parsons. You don't but technically he's a linebacker, but you ever see him going out in coverage like a linebacker does? Hardly ever, because his coverage skills suck. And him stopping the run game is absolutely very bad.
Still, it's not leaking through there, but the supply line's not leaking through there.
Man, I'm not I'm not trying to be combative, brother. I'm not. I'm just trying to give you facts.
I don't know. Like I think it's a great conversation.
Hey, I got a couple seconds. I got one question for Bryce.
What's up, CJ Stroud's the best?
Hey, next year, all I'm saying is we are going to be the most dominant team in the NFL. That's all I got to say.
Hey, I'm not gonna say you're dumb. I'm not gonna say your dumbass name, but I will tell you this: I can name 25 QBs that are better than CJ Stroud.
It was a bad game, okay? It happens to every quarterback. Be all right.
The dude had a trash year.
He'll be back.
What the hell are you even talking about?
He'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm a huge fan of CJ Stroud, and I hope he does bounce back. Again, I root for I root for all these young quarterbacks because they are the future of the league. They're the future of the league, and I root for them all. Right? We're getting out of the era. It's sad to say, guys, but soon we're not going to have a Mahomes. We're not going to have a Burrow. We're not going to have a Lamar, and we're not going to have an Allen. We're not. Their contracts and their years are coming to an end, and it's going to be here quicker than anything.
Place that kid, but now the
All I'm saying is, Armchair, fucking better. I'm telling you. If we don't do it next year, then we can have a different conversation.
Well, you're
But
going to
next
read.
year-
Well, hold on. Let's look
Wait
at.
on it.
Let's look at something right quick. Let's look at something right quick. Let's see what you're saying.
Y'all keep forgetting we lost Dalton Schultz and we didn't have Nico Collins that game. So for people to say all this and that, and CJ don't play in the snow.
Here's your problem. The problem is that in the Super
Bless
Bowl, you have a 50-50%, you have 50-50 chance of winning. The game before that, it's 25. Game before that, it's 12.5. Just to get into the playoffs, it's 8. So the idea that you're going to win your division on week 1, you probably have a 6% chance. Some teams have a little bit better, but you don't know about injuries.
Oh,
So
we're
you're
gonna win our
saying
division.
that for sure you're going to do great, but you really have a 6% chance.
This will be the year that
How
we
do I
get the bye week.
reconcile that?
This will be the year we get the bye week. I promise you that.
Well, number one,
Sure
y'all are over the salary cap going in next year. Not much, but some.
We get Joe
5.1
Mixon
mil.
back. That's
I
all
think
gotta say.
Jacksonville's the team.
No.
I love now. Okay, is it? I love Trevor Lawrence. I've stated that multiple times. But was this a 1-year success with a rookie head coach? I don't know. I hope not.
Yes.
I really hope not. I hope Liam Cohen is that guy that can turn Jacksonville around. Now, one of the things I think they need to do is decide is Travis Hunter a wide receiver or a cornerback? Not both. It's either or.
Armchair, you got to put this into perspective, too. A lot of people say CJ Stroud's trash. He's done it 3 times in a row.
Oh yeah, he's
Three
been to the
times.
playoffs 3. He's been to the divisional round 3
Yeah.
times. I know.
He's won 3.
I'm not discredit. I love CJ Stroud. I literally just said I want all these young quarterbacks to succeed because they are the future of this league.
Yeah, but I don't think CJ.
They already Darth Brevin, they already extended Josh Allen. He just signed a 6-year, $330, $250 million contract.
If he don't get it done this year, then we can have a different conversation. But I really think he steps it up this year, and we get our weapons back. We are going to be okay.
Well, you know, when we talk about weapons with the Texans, I really think they need to look at running back. I do love your guys' rookie, but I
You got
do.
Mixon.
I heard Nixon might not be coming back.
He's coming back. Don't worry about it.
No,
Speaking of
brother,
which, where does Brees Hall go?
I think he goes to the Chiefs. I really do. I
Well,
think
that's a
Brees
good
Hall's
call.
going to the Chiefs.
That's a great
Goddamn.
call.
That's a terrible call for y'all, for Bronco fans.
Well,
No,
okay,
it's
guys.
good.
Number one,
Makes a lot
NFL
of sense.
channel, then Bronco channel. So I'm going to go with my NFL mind first. And when I look at it, they already tried to trade for him at the trade deadline. Both of their running backs are free agents. So I'm bringing in Brees Hall.
I like that. And then a guy in the second round, if it makes sense.
Yeah, I would do that. I would go second, third rounder just to have a relief
Terrell
back.
Davis was a 6th rounder.
Because this is a very heavy running back draft, especially in the later rounds.
Well, there's a team, if they get Harrison and end up with Brees Hall, that'd be a very dangerous team. Hollywood Brown and Worthy. Maybe they give
Hollywood
up
Brown is a
Worthy to
free
get-
agent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bro,
I didn't
what
know
is
that.
What is your fandom over Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I just think he's underutilized, and he is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And if you put him on a team with a top 5 quarterback,
Okay.
that guy's a 1,500-yard receiver.
Now, before we do that, 'cause now
He
I'm
runs
gonna
really
let me
great
explain to my thinking. Number one, my wife is a diehard Arizona Cardinals fan, so of course I don't want Marvin Harrison Jr. to go anywhere because of her. Number two, you now have an offensive-minded head coach coming into Arizona. That's number two, Well, number 2, right? Number 3, pick number 2, my lord, number 2. So number 2,
You know what?
you got an offensive minded head coach. Number, completely different next year. Completely different quarterback.
Yeah, then you got to keep Harris.
So I'm not trading him. Again, I've got a wide receiver on a rookie deal that I drafted in the first round. I'm not trading him. I'm waiting to see what this new offensive minded head coach can do with a new quarterback. Now, the problem is I got to look at what quarterback I want. They're saying Jacoby Brissett could be going to New York. We'll have to wait and see. Do I look at number 1? I'm not bringing in Tua like everyone's like, well, we just swap them. No. I keep reading that the Cardinals could try to take Ty Simpson. I disagree with that, but that's nor here nor there. Could the Cardinals trade up for Mendoza? I really hope not. But there are other quarterbacks out there that they could go get. So next year's Cardinals is going to look a lot different than this year. You got Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Connor will be back. Their rookie running back will be back next year, both completely healthy. You got a pretty good offensive line. I mean, you could get a player here or there in the second and third round. So,
Not Martinez.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about him.
I agree with you. Shouts out for the Monty Python reference. Me and you are probably the only two that got that one.
Crank it to 11.
Nay. We are the Knights who say nay.
You can fangirl or fanboy Marvin Harrison Jr. all you want, but the thing is, dude, you're blaming the quarterback, and you're blaming this. The man does not have hands.
Armchair, are you watching the NFL tonight?
I'm gonna follow. I doubt I'm gonna watch it, but I will be following who wins. I will be following who wins. I still think Matthew Stafford is the MVP.
Yep.
What's up, LA Sports 5?
Does free agency begin March 11th?
Well, okay, so it begins March 11th, but legal tampering starts March 9th.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be going live March 11th for
Yes, I will be going live for free agency, and I hope by then that TikTok gets all their bugs worked out.
So what
hopefully
chances
the Broncos actually make a move this time, because I remember last time we went live, we waited for nothing.
I know we did. Well, no, that was the trade deadline. That wasn't free agency. That was the trade deadline.
Yeah.
We did a lot of moves in free agency, just nothing at the trade deadline.
That's what I mean, the trade deadline. We were sitting here waiting and waiting
Yep.
after it ended. And you were even saying Sean Payton probably sent it in late.
I was thinking he was, because I said it last year and I'll say it again this year. Going into this year, our wide receiver room is still very lacking. My stance has not changed.
What do we need to do with the wide receiver room? Because I mean, Bryant's up and coming.
And so, yeah, Pat Bryant is. Franklin still worries me because he has the dropsies. I need another outside threat. I need another outside threat.
I mean, isn't that Marvin Mims?
No, that's the common
He's a
misconception.
specialty guy.
No, he's not. That is not who Sean Payton wants Marvin Mims to be.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, see right.
Will y'all give up one of those 4th round picks for Michael Pittman?
Michael Pittman Jr., the
Yeah.
tight end out of Atlanta.
No, Michael Pittman. No,
The Colts.
the coach.
Oh.
Receiver.
Is he?
We got 2 4th round picks.
Yeah, the problem is he disappeared at times. He looked good one game and disappeared the other game.
He looks great when he plays, but he's injured a lot.
Hold on, let me look up at his contract. No,
He just-
not with a
he just-
$29 million cap hit. And he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
That's a $29 million cap hit. No, I'm good. I'm good. Because if you look at let me pull up the free agent wide receivers.
I say Romeo Dobbs, but everybody's like, no, not Romeo.
I like Romeo Dobbs.
Oh, Romeo, oh, Romeo.
We're out thou thy Romeo.
That's such a classic.
Let's look at our wide receivers.
We can do Romeo and Juliet.
All right, you got Mike Evans, free agent. Christian Kirk, Deebo Samuel, Tutu Atwell. Where is he? I know there's another one that I was following this year. Is he on here or is it next year? Alec Pierce, Indianapolis Colts.
Nope. I don't want any receivers that played in the dome.
Okay. I mean, he does. His market value is 20.2. Pickens' market value is 30.6. Jawan Jennings' market value is 22.6. Rashid Shaheed out of Seattle, his market value is 14.1. Mike Evans is 13.3. I mean, yeah, Mike Evans will be 32 years old, 12 years in the league. Would I sign him on a 2-year deal? I could do it.
You ain't leaving in fucking minutes.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I've not heard any talks about them re-signing him.
What, Mike Evans?
Mike Evans, yeah.
I mean, they may try to encourage him to retire.
Yeah.
Unless somebody offers him a deal. I mean, who's to say the Broncos don't go, hey, Mike, we'll give you a 2-year, 20 mil, 15 guaranteed deal.
They're pretty good.
That's a pretty good deal, in my opinion, to finish out his career.
Hey, a quick question for you, Amanda. What do you prefer to be addressed? Like, how do you prefer to be addressed?
You can call me Armchair. You can call me Tim. That's fine. It don't bother me.
All right, I'll call you Tim. So question for you, since it's pretty clear you're a Broncos fan. So I'm a Patriots fan, and before you say anything, let me finish. When we played y'all in the AFC Championship, y'all played good on defense, and that I have to respect. Because the Broncos played good overall this season, and obviously it didn't end the way you hoped. And I don't mean to bring that up as like a ha-ha.
No, you're good, brother. You're good.
So really my question for you is, were you surprised that Denver lost, and what's the biggest thing you think Denver can improve upon for next season?
Was I surprised the Broncos lost the AFC Championship game? No, I wasn't.
No.
I wasn't. Number one, we left points on the field when we never should have. That's a big problem that I had all postseason, was teams leaving points on the field. And what I mean by that is when we went for that 4th down and 1, when we were in the red zone, instead of going up by 2 scores instead of 1, that was a big momentum shifter. Also, finding out in the third quarter that Pat Bryant, our number 2 wide receiver, and Troy Franklin, our number 3 wide receiver, were both out the remainder of the game since the first quarter, and they didn't tell anybody. That was a very impactful thing as well. On top of that, knowing that we were going into the week thinking JK wasn't, what's up, Naren? JK was going to be playing, but he didn't play. That hurt us in the run game. All I had said, and everybody who's been on here a while will know I said this. I did not care if the Broncos won the AFC Championship game or not. I just did not want us to be one and done in the playoffs, having the number 1 seed.
Yep.
That was my major concern.
And we went far.
What the Broncos need to focus on is their wide receiver core. I had stated it after preseason. Our wide receiver room was what was very lacking on our offense.
Well, it was kind of it was exposed, not because they were horrible, it's because the running game wasn't there. no running game. It's the passing game is relied on immensely, and that's what happened.
If you're talking about the guy with the Seahawks, I read this morning that he's questionable, but it looks like he's leaning to play.
I don't think he's
Just,
gonna play.
Sorry, go ahead.
But again, here's another thing that the Broncos need to focus on going into 2026. Is the Evan Ingram experiment done? We cut him and bring in a free agent tight end.
Like Isaiah Likely.
Or David Njoku. Or what's his name? Kyle Pitts? Or who is it from Atlanta? Pitts?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Bring him in from Atlanta.
See, the problem with getting Njoku's he's older now. He's been in the league, what, 7 years?
I'll tell you right now. Let me pull it up for you.
Yeah, about 7.
Let's see. Tight end. David Njoku has been in the league 8 years.
Exactly. What kind of production do you hope to get out of David Njoku at this point in his career?
Well, that's why I'm looking more at Kyle Pitts, who's only been in for 5. And I'll tell you this right now.
I think Atlanta's going to franchise tag him.
If I could do it, and he was willing, and I know he's been in the league a while, but I'm thinking about the middle of the field productivity. I'm looking at Travis Kelce.
That might be a
Travis
little
Kelce
bit of a
would.
stretch.
I don't think in good conscience he would come play for them.
I don't know if he would either, but I'm just saying. If he was willing, well, on a 2-year deal, and the productivity that I could get out of him across the middle, not only having the threat of Travis Kelce on the field in the middle in our tight end room, but think about what that would do for our wide receivers.
That's true.
It would completely change the way the defense you're going up against lines up.
I mean, I understand, but was the wide receiver room at Kansas City elevated this year? They were kind of pissed
I
off
can't.
with all these
I can't say
so-called
that,
good
Ray.
Receivers on the team.
But we can't say that though, right? Because look at the ones that were suspended. Look at the ones that were hurt. How can we say yay or nay?
I mean, what's the name was pretty healthy the whole season. Hollywood was healthy the whole season. Isaiah Likely had an injury but came back. I mean, Rasheed Rice came in game 6. And
Hello, my name is Danny Nafsudeo. What's your name?
Armchair.
Can you run the Chiefs? Yeah, bro, thank you. Yeah.
You know that's not.
I'm not on you.
can you run what?
What?
What, Ray?
No, somebody said something about running the Chiefs.
Troll.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you said that, Ray.
No, I said about the
No, Ray
Chiefs
McBee, why would you say we're mine? Why would you tell us to run our Chiefs?
Can I not on you?
Come on. Andrew, come on.
I'm talking about the receiver core. The receiver core of the Chiefs is kind of
Well,
they didn't perform well.
Well, when you look at the Chiefs going into next year, come on, let it load. Come on. That's being slow. All right, here we go. The Chiefs. So, Brown is a free agent. Juju Smith-Schuster is a free agent. Thornton is a free agent.
I wouldn't mind going after Thornton. That's a great deep threat.
Ramingo is a free agent. So they have 4 wide receivers that are free agents. Are any of them restricted?
And all of them are, well, the Kansas City's in cap hell right now.
They are, but it'll get fixed on the 10th. None of them, it looks like, are restricted free agents.
They still, it only goes up by $30 million.
Well, no,
But,
no, no, no. It'll get fixed. What they're gonna do is they're gonna walk in to Patrick Mahomes and write him a $50 million check, take his cap hit down from 78 million to 24 million, and put that towards the cap. That's how you do it. That's what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast. Was when are these owners going to quit writing all these checks at the beginning of the year and start making it to where these players need to understand we need to spread out this a different way, kind of like what Tom Brady did.
Yeah.
You know, Tom Brady
Tom
always
Brady
put his
also had a
contract
rich
money
wife
at
that
the
you didn't have
end.
to worry about it.
But no, the Chiefs. Look, let me pull them up real quick. Let me pull up the Chiefs. And I'll tell you right now how they're going to do it. I could do it in like 2 to 3 easy steps. Once it loads. All right. Number one, I'm not paying Patrick Mahomes $78.2 million against the cap. I'm writing him a $50 million check. And I'm lowering his cap hit down to 28.2. That automatically puts me at negative 7 million. So I went from negative 57 to negative 7. Just with that one move.
Even when you renegotiate, it's still going to have a dead cap hit.
Well, no. The dead cap means nothing. This is just your cap hit. The only way the dead cap comes in is if I were to cut the player. So his dead cap money is $77 million throughout the rest of his contract with the Kansas City Chiefs, which ends in 2032. I'm looking at what his cap number is for this year, and it's $78.2 million. So by going in on the 9th or the 10th and telling Patrick Mahomes, look, I'm going to write you a $50 million check. That lowers his cap hit down to 28 million. That does, because dead cap money you can't play with. But that's only if a player retires, you cut a player, or they have an injury retirement. So that's the only way when that comes in. Then I'm going to go to Chris Jones. I can't trade him. I can't. But I'm not paying him $44.8 million next year either. So I'm writing him a $25 million check.
Unlike Patrick Mahomes, I don't think he'll take a cut down.
Why he did it? He's still getting the money though. That's the deal. He still makes that money. All it's doing, instead of me paying him $78 million throughout 17 games,
Yeah, you get it up.
I'm giving him a $50 million check up front that he could take to the bank on March 10th and cash it. And then I'm paying him the remainder $28 million throughout the 17 games. He's still making that $78 million. It's just he's getting a check on March 10th of $50 million. So he still makes that money. That's the common misconception.
Isn't there a limit of what you can do?
No, there is no limit.
Because every team would do something like that.
They do. Every single team does it.
We're going to pay you 12.
It's called legal cap manipulation. That is how the New Orleans Saints last year went from 47 million over the cap on March 11th to on March 12th when the season started. They had 50 million under it. They did a $90 million swap by being 47 million over to 50 million under in a 24-hour period. I think it should be Riley Leonard. I think that Riley Leonard should be the quarterback of the Colts. It's called legal cap manipulation. You can only do it on a year-by-year basis, right? So I could go into this year because they're going to have to do the same thing with Patrick Mahomes next year because he has a huge cap hit next year.
Yeah, they do it every year.
Every team can do it, and you can. It doesn't matter. All it matters is how much is the owner willing to pay out of pocket, because that money that I'm paying Patrick Mahomes in that check comes out of me, the owner. That's how it works. The owner has to give him that check out of his own money, not the team money, his money. Apostle brother, we can barely hear you, my man.
It's like you're on the other side of the room.
Yeah, you're talking to
I
somebody.
know, I can't hear him at all. So you got to look at Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Jawan Taylor all getting checks at the beginning of the year, probably March 9th or 10th. They're all going to get checks, and all of their contracts are going to be lowered. So you're probably going to save about $80 million. So you're going to go from $57 million over the cap to now $23 million under the cap, plus the money you're going to get when that cap goes up on the 12th. Which it's going to go up 20 some odd million. So you're going to have.
They already.
You're going to have
put those things situations in there. Like it's supposed to go up to 300 and with 303 million 305 with 305. Kansas City was still 59 over.
Well, according to Spot Track, it hasn't hit yet.
I mean, it hasn't hit. It hasn't hit yet because technically the league hasn't started.
Correct. The league year hasn't started.
You know, so when they said when it happens, they'll still be 59.
So if I do that with those three players and write 3 checks totaling $80 million, I go from 59 million over the cap to 21 to 23 million under the cap in a matter of a day.
I'm still gonna get that 80 million.
Everybody, everybody does it. One that I think could be a cap casualty is Jawan Taylor. He's got a cap hit of 27 million, but his dead cap hit is only 7.9. So we're just going to round it up to 8 million. If I were to cut Jawan Taylor, that's 4 million I pay him this year and 4 million I pay him next year. And I would save 23 million this year by doing that.
You know they're gonna come to me and say,
So that is how being a general manager, you look at all these things. You got to talk with the team owner. You got to talk with the head coach, all of that. So that is how you get yourself from being close to 60 million under or over the cap, 30, 40 million under it in a day. That's how you do it. So it's not hard to do. It's not. If you as an owner are not afraid of paying money out of your own pocket, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And so it's just how the league works. That's why it's called legal cap manipulation. Apostle, brother, if you're talking to us, we cannot hear you.
I think you're talking to somebody in the background.
I come in peace. Some stuff around. Sorry, y'all.
Okay, we were just trying to figure out if you were talking to us or somebody else.
No, I was just.
Yo, the Broncos are the shittiest team. Bo next year is the team y'all lost, and y'all are shit.
All right, that's your opinion, my friend.
Don't listen to him.
I'm not. They're trying to get under my nerves. It's not going to happen.
Look, man. Patriot fan or not, whoever just talked, I promise you that if Bo Nix was out there, he's putting more than 7 points on the board. I'm not saying that we would have won, but I'm saying there would have been more than 7 points.
We would have won easily.
I'm saying, I think y'all would have won.
The whole game, the Patriots put up 10 points on a backup quarterback.
Yo, I think I saw
Actually, from a technical standpoint, the Patriots only put up 3 points. I mean, We gave him the ball at the 8-yard line. What was going to happen?
Which it shouldn't have. According to the rules, it should have been an incomplete pass.
Yep.
Nacho! What's up, brother?
Well, the thing about it, that first time when he tried to do a play fake, he should have threw it to the ground right there.
And see, I cannot join any of the posted drive on my account if they're not part of this agency, so I have to join from my backup account now.
What's up, all videos you were walked on, brother?
I had to get a violation that if I got another, my account would have got banned, so I had to get an agency to help protect my account. But I'm not allowed to join on that account anybody else's.
Can the Broncos hat guy just start shaking ass?
Sorry to hear that, all videos. What was that, Drake?
Can you start shaking ass?
Bro, I am so sorry, Drake. I cannot understand you. Can you say that a little slower?
Yeah, can you say, wait, can you say ass like you like revive Phoenix?
Guys, did you...
Over the troll, man.
Oh, okay, because I can't understand what he's saying. He's
Codex and starts shaking his ass.
okay, no biggie. Again, they all just want to come in and try to give me crap. It's okay. I don't mind. I think you guys have only seen me twice get mad. Well, not even mad, just try to shut people down. That's the joys about doing this. And it's fun.
Can you just move the camera?
To what?
What up? What up?
What's up, Sticks?
I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet, about the Max Crosby trade rumors. Is anybody seeing what's going on with that? Because honestly, coming from a Raiders fan that loves Max Crosby, I was here when Matt got traded in his prime. And, of course, Gruden and Mayock really didn't do what they should have done with that draft capital, drafting Cleveland Farrell and really messing it up. I think Spytech should trade Crosby. We only take a $5 million dead cap hit in 2026, but we get $30 million freed up. And I don't know about you, but you know the Raiders. We need a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you need a lot of interior line help.
Yeah, we need. And if we can free up that money, maybe
I get that Broncos hit with the beat right hook, have him sleeping.
So, Sticks, I've been saying for weeks that I think Max Crosby is going to get traded.
Okay.
I do think he will. He's already stated that he wants to go to a team that is competing. He doesn't want to be a part of another rebuild, like what the Raiders are going to be. The Raiders are going to be a rebuild. Unfortunately, they are. You're most likely going to get Mendoza as your quarterback, unless somehow, some way, what PFT was talking about with that trade Lamar goes through. You still got to build up that interior line. You need a guard, a center, possibly even another guard. And then you've got to build up your defensive backfield for the Raiders. Now, you will have a second year with Ashton Genty, but you also need to bring in wide receiver help. You let Jacoby Myers go. You have Brock Bowers, one of the best young tight ends in the NFL. Your other tight end is either going to get traded or I think is a free agent. Myers. Myers.
Yeah, Myers will be their other tight end.
So,
because Clint Kubiak is going to run double tight end packages. Whoever said that, you're correct. They're going to keep Mayer there with him and Brock Bowers to run double tight end sets.
You need to focus mainly when it comes to the offensive side, wide receiver, interior line help, defense, linebacker, and defensive backfield.
And the one thing I'm going to say about Max and my feelings on this trade is I love Max, but whoever he goes to, which the Cowboys have a hard on for him, they better be careful because I don't know that he's available postseason for any team that gets him. So I'm kind of like, it's cool with me because even if the Raiders made the postseason the past 2 to 3 years, he's always been on the shelf at that time. he would be going on the shelf around that time.
Well,
that's my 2 cents, and I mean he's a great player.
I love Max Crosby. I really do.
You put him on a team as you can as you have a other big guy that you can give. And he doesn't have to be on the field that much. Like, and he only has to be on the field for 75% of snaps compared to 90 on defense.
So if you're looking at, the teams that could have the draft capital to trade for Max Crosby, would be the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Jets. They're the both teams that have multiple first-round draft picks and second-round draft picks this year. They have the draft capital to do it. The Jets over the next 2 years have the draft capital in total. They have 5 first-round draft picks this year, 5 next year. So they got.
Jets are way worse off than the Raiders are, though.
I agree 100%. But we are talking about Woody Johnson.
I think Crosby's got a lot to say about where he goes to.
If he goes anywhere, I look at the Cowboys, the Patriots.
The Patriots.
The Bears.
Grable, so.
But I think the Cowboys and the top 2. What was that?
Even I said I have him going to the Lions or the Bengals.
I don't think the Lions have the draft capital or the cap space for it. Let me look. You see what the Lions have in cap space. No, the Lions are already $9.1 million over the cap. You got to worry about Jared Goff. $69.6 million cap hit. 32-year-old quarterback, free agent in 3 years.
If I'm the Lions, I would try to lower his salary from 60 to 55 million.
Oh no, if I'm the Lions, I'm trying to lower his salary cap hit from this year from 69 to 30.
And that's kind of the easiest thing to do if the owners want to pay $3 million under the table.
So here's another team that's going to be hard up for money. The Cowboys are $31.5 million over the cap. Dak has got a $74 million cap hit. CeeDee Lamb has got a $38.4 million cap hit. Tyler Smith has got a $27.5 million cap hit. So they're going to have to work with those deals before they can even do anything.
And the Cowboys aren't going to get George Pickens because Jerry Jones is going to play that hard ball and think he can do it.
They're going to try to franchise tag him, which is going to be $29 million for a 1-year rental.
Dumbest decision.
Yeah,
but
you don't need a second number 1 receiver.
But if they franchise tag him, somebody gonna come in and offer him a contract and give up that first round pick for George Pickens.
Why would they give up first round pick?
Because that's the compensation.
You have to give up a first round pick.
Why would you have to give up a first round pick?
Because if he signs,
franchise tag him.
I mean, franchise tag is a whole different story. But
that's what I said. I said they're going to franchise tag him, and somebody's going to come in, and Jerry's going to have to give up. I mean, and Jerry's going to get a first round pick for him. That's what I said.
And you got to think, if you heard what was coming out of the Pro Bowl, the Green Bay Packers players were trying to recruit Pickens to come up to Green Bay. And
is that even allowed?
Oh, absolutely. If players talk to players like that, there's no violation.
Yeah, nope. That's all legal.
But if the GM was telling the players to tell him to do that, would that be
try to prove it?
It's impossible to prove.
And right now the Packers are $4.3 million over the cap. They're gonna rework Jordan Love's deal, Gary's deal. I mean, they really don't have that many players to rework. They only have 4. Jenkins, Banks, Gary, and Love are the only 4 you really can.
I'm the Packers. Would you keep Michael Parsons on the team for this year? If it doesn't work out, would you trade him in the offseason of 2027?
You ain't trading Parsons with a $113 million dead cap hit. Parsons is going nowhere. He has a $113 million dead cap hit. That is not a tradable contract.
He's a good player, but it's hard because some things cannot work out in 3 years.
That is way too big of a contract to try to trade off of your books. Way too big. It's like, okay, Dak Prescott. I could see this being Dak Prescott's last year in Dallas because going into 2027, his dead cap hit is now more favorable to a trade or an outright release. So,
Hey,
I will be back on my other account because I just got news that I will be able to do your stream for my main account.
all right, all videos. What was that question?
What were they gonna? Will they ever trade Brock Bowers if all else fails at some point? Or are they just gonna keep him?
Why would you trade your most dangerous threat?
He's one of the best. He's one of the best receiving threats in the NFL.
Well, at some point.
What's up, Ghost Cowboys fan?
Super Bowl.
Well, the Raiders are. You're saying it's a lot of what ifs there. We're about to get Mendoza, Clint Kubiak, and be in a little small, probably 2 to 3 year rebuild. But no matter what anybody wants to say about the Raiders, we also have top 5 in salary cap. So what you're going to see happen here is probably Crosby get traded. We have even more draft capital. We cut Geno Smith. That's $18 million. That still leaves us with over $100 million. Bring in Mendoza. You got Genty behind this O-line that was trashed this year, and he actually played pretty amazing for us for his rookie year. Give him an O-line. You have Brock Bowers. You get, like Armchair said, you get a good number 1 wide receiver to pair with Trey Tucker. Beck is a young up-and-coming guy. Hopefully, Clint Kubiak's guy can get Dante Thornton, who is, 6'6", had a 4.3 40. Hopefully, they can get him going, these new coaches that come in, because Pete Carroll brought in all his buddies to get paid, and his son, Brennan Carroll, to coach our O-line. The Raiders are not far away as what people really think. I want you to look at the teams in the NFL. You're sitting here and going to tell me that the Raiders are way far off when we beat the Patriots in week 2 or week 3? Yeah,
week 1.
Week 1. We beat them, but we beat that Super Bowl team right this year.
I agree. You're not going to get any disagreements from here.
That did happen, and we fought the Broncos hard. Yeah, it was a division game, but we still fought you guys hard. You guys were a great team this year. So, like I said, the Raiders they're not trading Bowers because that is the best player on the roster. They're not going to trade him. Crosby.
Raiders are always going to suck, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, they suck. I'm 35. I know that. I have been through Jamarcus Russell, Terrell Pryor. I've been through all of it. Charlie Garner, Tyrone Wheatley. I can go on for days.
Geno Smith.
Fan. I've been through the pain, brother. I've been through it all. And you can tell me they suck, because they do. But our future's looking brighter every day. So I can be excited for my team.
Now, the Raiders don't have a problem at tackle. The Raiders have a problem at guard and center. They've got two pretty good tackles.
We do have JPJ, Jackson Howard Johnson, and Pete Carroll didn't want to play him at center, who won the trophy. I don't know what it's called, Armchair. He won the award for best center in college football for Oregon his senior year. So he should be playing center when he comes back from his ankle injury.
If they can fix that interior line, that'll help with the run game with Genty. You get another threat on the outside at wide receiver. You get Mendoza, which it seems like is going to happen. So,
like he said,
hey, to the Raiders fan, do you think your owner play a part in this? Your team looking the way it looks?
So it's a good question you had there, dude. So basically what Mark Davis was doing before, I was mad at Mark because he moved to Vegas. All these away fans come into our games. They didn't look like Oakland Coliseum.
absolutely. They start Mendoza year 1.
And so he was sitting there and just funneling all this money from away teams to come watch him beat up on a shitty Raiders team. Well, now he's stepping back and going, okay, we're worth $8 billion. $8 billion.
$8 billion, yeah.
So now I'm going to go ahead and let Spytek and Brady take over the football operations like it should have been all along, without having Mark Davis's dumbass nose in it. Now, Spytek and Brady are in control of everything going on when it comes to the roster and coaching, which signifies Clint Kubiak coming in. And Mendoza's biggest mentor is going to be Tom Brady, and that is scary. I don't care what anybody says. And if you hate the Raiders, that Blake kid, you hate the Raiders, you're going to hate him even more because Brady's mentoring Mendoza, and that's going to be a scary thought for a Raider hater. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, man, I think Mark Davis is doing the right thing now.
Yeah, or not, I don't think Mendoza has the skill set to do what you think he's going to do.
That's cool. Hey, only time will tell on it. You don't think so? I do. We'll see what happens. I mean,
bro, he was an average QB
okay.
on a good football team in college.
I do worry about Mendoza. I'm not gonna lie. I do worry about him. He only had one good year of success in college.
Everyone has an
Yeah.
And I'm not now. I'm going to tell you right now, there are no other quarterbacks in the draft that are better suited over Mendoza. So you're kind of stuck with what you got.
I'm fine with that.
I don't think Ty Simpson's a first round quarterback. I really don't. I know they're going to hype him up as the second coming of somebody, but I just don't.
I just don't know how we go Mendoza Heisman winner, 16-0, wins the national championship, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's not as good as what you think.
No, I've been saying that all year.
Armchair. I was talking about
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. I've been saying that all year.
And they don't
getting it done. You get it done.
They don't prosper.
Because you're watching him underthrow his receivers, and you're watching him miss open plays.
Peyton Manning did that. Brady did that.
Ass.
People do that. That's playing quarterback. That stuff.
Yeah, Brady
happens.
was a good quarterback though.
Yeah, he was. Well, he's a GOAT. I mean, that's obvious.
And there's a huge difference between college football and the NFL. And
There is.
That.
I trust me. I know. I was high on Jamarcus Russell, and look how he turned out.
Yeah.
So anything can happen, Bryce. I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong, but you have an opinion and I have an opinion. We'll just have to see what happens.
I mean, look at my QB. He's been average until this year, and he really showed how he played this year, and hopefully he continues to.
Who do you like?
He's a Jaguars fan.
Oh, yeah, I like T-Law. Yeah, I like T-Law.
So do I. I like Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I worry about with Mendoza. And no matter how much I love the kid, we've seen CJ Stroud not, progress after year one. And that does worry me. I hope it turns around. I really do. I really hope it turns around.
Denver fan. Armchair, it's all good. If you don't want us to be good either. That's okay.
Yes, I do. I want competition good. I do. Yeah. I've stated that multiple times.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want good competition. It makes NFL better. It makes the NFL better.
It does.
And it's like I was saying, I'm not rooting for Mendoza to fail. Why? Because he's the future of the league. JJ McCarthy, future of the league. Michael Penix Jr., Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bryce Young. All these guys are futures of the league because we don't know how many more years we're going to have with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. We don't know. So we've got to start looking to the future. And we want these kids that are coming in to start, and I say that, like kids, yeah, I'm in my 40s, so they're kids to me. We want them to start succeeding. We need them to start succeeding. To keep the quarterback play up. To keep the quarterback play competitive. Because we don't want to start seeing teams, and I'm talking like good, the dominant teams go through a carousel of quarterbacks every 2 or 3 years. I don't want that at all. That would absolutely destroy football. Is if after 3 years that guy's gone, we're bringing in another one. Oh, he didn't do good. He's gone. We're bringing in another one.
I agree.
That would absolutely destroy football as it is, and I don't want that. So if Mendoza comes in, lights it up, great. Hopefully he can continue it. Hopefully he can get better. Hopefully Drake May can get better. They all should. Cam Ward. Hopefully all these guys aspire to get better. Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, and even Mendoza when he comes in. We want them to continue to get better. Because again, we don't know. We don't know how long these other quarterbacks are going to be. Can Sam Darnold stay at the peak that he's at right now? Can he get better going into next year? It's so much.
Yeah.
I think Arch Manning is going to be a Cowboy in 2027 because, again, I have stated it. You can release Dak Prescott in the 2027 offseason and save a ton of money.
Really want that linebacker.
Arch Manning needs to come to us game. Like, I don't know.
Go where?
He needs to come to us because I think he'd be like a good quarterback for us.
Well, you've got the draft picks next year to make the move if you don't have the number 1 overall pick. So you've got the draft capital to move up next year if you need to. But again, if you look at the Dallas Cowboys, and I've been saying this for a while when it comes to Dak, and I like Dak Prescott. I do.
Yeah, Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but
But when you look at 2027, in 2027, Dak Prescott.
Too much like.
In 2027, Dak Prescott has a $68.3 million cap hit. That's his cap hit. But he has a $55.9 million dead cap. Right? So if I were to cut Dak Prescott, I take that 55 and divide it by 2. And I'm at 27.9 mil. So I'm going to be paying Dak Prescott 27.9 million, not to even be on my team. But he has a 68.3 million cap hit. I am saving $40.4 million next year. $40.4 million next year. And then in 2028, when he has a 78.3, I'm saving $50.4 million. Because of cut just by releasing him.
Yeah, I think it's time for
I don't see Jerry Jones.
If we know that Jerry Jones and Archie Manning are very good friends, Archie Manning has stated multiple times he wants his grandson, Arch Manning, to play for the Dallas Cowboys. They couldn't do it this year. But you can do it next year.
So he could come next year to the Cowboys.
Okay, so if they do that, then what they'll probably do is have him as the bench warmer while Dak's mentoring him, or vice versa.
So I'm just saying, if I'm Jerry Jones and I can save $90.8 million over the next 2 years after 2026, I'm doing it.
Well, you're allowed to think that he's not.
Yeah, true.
And I honestly think if we get Arch Manning, we would probably be a good team again.
You have that much faith in Arch Manning?
He's got lots to prove still, but he could definitely be a good quarterback.
Well, let's just say this. You can't get any worse than you already are.
That is correct.
Right? You haven't been to a Super Bowl in 30 years. Haven't been close to a Super Bowl in 30 years. You can't get any worse.
Dude, I know this is a big if, but if they had a stout defense this year, woo, they would have been a scary team.
And that's what you got to look at, right? So if by doing that, what are we looking at for their cap? It's kind of hard to go that far in the future. But let me see what it would look like in 2027. So 2027, based on numbers now, they would have 15 million in cap space right now. But by doing that with Dak, you go to 55 million in cap space. So
AJ Brown to the.
What's something about him?
I mean,
we looked at going to the Ravens.
I heard he might go to the Patriots.
I have no idea where AJ Brown's going, man. I've heard Broncos, Patriots, Raiders, this, that, the other.
I don't want him on the Raiders.
I don't want him on the Broncos.
I don't want
Now,
him.
who wants him? Head case.
I don't want him. He's a one route runner. I don't want him. Kind of like DK Metcalf, one route runner. I don't want him. So, but this is what I started to show off with about the salary caps. And how you can manipulate them, how you have to manipulate them, and when you can manipulate them, and it's beneficial to your team. For Dallas, it's next year, 2027. 2027 is the year that the Dallas Cowboys can really, start looking to the future. And again, it's all up to Jerry Jones, right? Will he do it? I think he will. Unless the Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl 61 champs. That's the only way I don't think he does it.
Yeah, we got to make the playoffs first. Before I think about Super Bowl.
So, well, I'm just saying that's the only way he doesn't cut Dak Prescott. That's the only way, is if they win the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 61.
If I was the Cowboys, as much as people say they're trying to sign him back, I'd get rid of George Pickens, dude, after how he performed in the later half of the year.
Well, he wants $30 million a year. His franchise tag is $29 million for 1 year. He came out and said he wants to be somewhere where he can get 50% of the targets. I don't know, Zach. I don't know where he's gonna go.
That ain't the place. That's for sure.
Well, I heard he wants to stay with the Cowboys, but I don't know.
Cowboys should try to get T. Higgins and give him George Pickens.
Well, you can't trade him because he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Higgins is good. I'd pick up Higgins.
Yeah.
He's definitely a good wide receiver.
And I agree with Hunter. If the Cowboys pay him, they'll be doing the same thing the Bengals did with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. You're paying two players at your wide receiver. You can't do anything at defense.
Now they need to move off of them. They've got other wide receivers that are good.
They can get a receiver in the draft.
There you go.
First-round picks.
They've got 2 first-round draft picks. And you're saving your team $30 million. Because his projected market value is $30 million a year.
Yep.
That's actually absurd for that to be a demand. I want 50% of the passing. That's wild. Like, sir, there's 5 other receivers there.
So it's gonna. I tell you guys, the day after the Super Bowl, well, technically the day after the Combine, it's gonna get very, very interesting.
Where do you think Jeremiah Lowe's gonna go?
Cowboys.
New Orleans.
I think he could go to the Cowboys at 12 if they don't re-sign Javonte
Williams.
Williams.
Because they already have Jade on Blue.
No, Javonte Williams is a free agent.
So, no, but I'm saying you have Jade on Blue.
If they're not able to re-sign him, I could see them taking Jeremiah Love at number 12. And that all depends on if Kansas City gets Breece Hall. Because if Kansas City doesn't get Breece Hall, then they could pick him up as well earlier in the draft.
Y'all assume that Breece Hall is going to want to come to Kansas City.
You have one shining light on Kansas City.
I can tell you this, bro. He's not happy in New York.
That is a big attraction, and that is Patrick Mahomes.
That's Jeremiah Love is not. That kid. The thing about him is,
And number one, when you're in, you know, you got Patrick Mahomes as the starting quarterback.
that's when I jumped a lot.
I mean, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy.
I agree with Lopez in the comments. I think they take a defensive player in the first round.
Yeah, I agree. That's what they need.
Yeah, they said more likely they're going to try to take the defensive tackle out of Florida.
Yeah, I don't see them taking a running back.
According to CBS mock draft that was released yesterday, CBS has them taking Jeremiah Love. Again, that's just a mock. But
Did y'all see Travis Hunter come to Jacksonville last week? Y'all see that?
I didn't see Jacksonville trading up for him. I really didn't. But I did say it. That if they played him at both positions, he was not going to survive the entire year.
He didn't get hurt on the field. He got hurt during the bye week.
Why did he get hurt during a bye week in practice? Maybe because his body was worn down.
I mean, it's possible, but Stephon Diggs got a concussion when he wasn't playing football.
I would love to know the whole story that happened there.
Yeah.
I doubt we ever will, but I would love it.
Right? Probably got hit over the head with the frying pan, disrespecting his mama.
I want to know what kind of injury Joe Mixon had. They had him out the whole season.
Something about his foot. I have no idea.
They're covering something up there.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna put no conspiracies out there, but.
But that's the fun thing about sports.
You can't afford to have any kind of controversy, including the last person that brought him controversy. So they're going to say he's hurt until he's.
Let me look that up real quick.
I don't think Tank Dell's going to come back and be the star player they want him to be. That's a pretty hard injury to come back from.
Who are you guys' draft sleepers? Who are they sleeping on?
Or what?
The draft sleepers, who are they sleeping on?
I don't know. I seen that tight end slipping all the way down.
Oh, the Oregon one?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Sadiq.
Yeah, I saw him falling like to 28.
Yeah.
Whenever this loads.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, David, I'll be 100% honest with you. I haven't even looked at the draft because we don't have a first or a second round this year.
Who doesn't?
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
So I don't even care.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the Jaguars don't.
First or second.
What about the Saints?
I think the Jaguars and the Falcons are the only two teams that don't have first.
There's three
Don't
teams
have
that are
first
three or four teams that don't.
Yeah. Who else?
I don't think
The Colts
Packers got a
don't. The
first.
Colts don't have a first round draft pick.
Do the Packers still get a first? I don't think they got a first either.
No, I don't think they have a first round draft pick either.
Armchair, what's the likeliness of us trying to grab that defensive tackle out of Texas Tech?
According to what I've seen on CBS, we're going for a wide receiver out of, I believe it's Washington. What's his name?
No, I don't know if I like that.
See, I don't want to with the Broncos.
Boston.
I want us to reach. I want us to get like the best player available.
Well, we went best player available last year in Jade Barron.
How much y'all paying Carlos Sutton?
Cortland Sutton is making.
17.
Hold on, no.
Yeah.
More than that.
Sutton is making 16.8 next year.
17.
Right?
Well, guys,
No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Cortland Sutton is making 13.9 next year.
All right.
That's good.
That's not terribly bad, but
Well, what do you think he should have made?
do you think we could
That
take
ain't
on
terribly
I'll make more
bad.
than
How
that
much
because
you think
you
he
get
should
a
have
wide
made?
receiver.
Hunter, we need a receiver, but I just don't want us to draft one in the first round.
What is that?
It's medicine for Zona.
For what?
Dewormer or virus, I don't know.
Okay.
But these are empty. So I don't know if it's this.
I'm pretty sure.
And it doesn't have a needle with it.
It doesn't. You put it in her mouth.
Yeah, well,
Just
I
wait and
saw
see what
the
free agency
virus.
talking about.
But that's
Hey,
This
Mrs. Armchair.
is Parvo.
well, yeah. That she needs to take it given to her.
Okay, go ahead. Have fun.
I don't want to give it to her.
Then her mama can do it when she gets home.
Okay, love you.
All right. But guys, since it's skipping a lot worse now and we're still having problems, I think I'm going to end it here. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. I was hearing yesterday that if you stay on longer than 90 minutes, close to 2 hours, it starts to jump really, really bad. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday night. Enjoy what happens with the NFL honors tonight. We'll find out who is the MVP and who isn't, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Protector of the year.
I hope you.
Am I the only one that haven't seen the skipping?
No, I haven't seen Skip.
Oh, it's skipping so bad on my end. So bad.
Oh, okay.
hey, do you think we can take on Waddle's contract if we decide to trade for him?
All right.
Possibly. But I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. I really do. I hope to see you guys here tomorrow. Please stay safe. Please have fun. And thank you guys so much for your support. And know that I love you. My family loves you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.